Bowing in the martial arts. I've been speaking to a few people recently who are put off joining a martial arts club because they don't like the idea of having to bow to somebody. When you bow, it is not being subservient to somebody. The clue that it's not being subservient to somebody is the fact that everybody bows to each other. It's not just you bowing to one person and them standing there. So if you go to a judo dojo, what you'll do in the lineup is you'll all line up in order of belt rank. When you bow to the senseis, they will also be on their knees bowing right back at you. So it's not a case of you're more important than me and I'm your slave or I'm your servant now. It's a mark of saying you to the teacher, thank you for teaching me. The sensei is bowing to you, saying thank you for giving me someone to pass this knowledge on to. When you bow to people that you're actually training with, who are your own belt rank above or below, you're literally saying thank you for giving me this time to practice to see how good I am. If it's someone much below you, you're saying to them, just as the sensei did, thank you for giving me this chance to practice, see how good I am, and also to give me an opportunity to pass on what I know. When you bow on when you come onto the mat and when you bow off when you leave, you're basically saying thank you to the room for being there to give you a place to train. There's none of it involved at all should ever be about your master and servant or you're more important than me. You're not. Some people would say the sensei or the instructor is more important because they've got the knowledge, but without you, the student, it's just a random person in a room by themselves barking at the shadows. Nobody is more important than anybody else. Nobody's worse than anybody else. Nobody's better than anybody else. You've all got something different to bring. A good club, a good class, should have what Frank Shamrock calls the power of three. So, for your own self, you should have somebody who's much, much better than you, much higher than you, who can teach you. You should have someone your own level who you can clash with constantly to sharpen your skills, and you should have someone who's, I'll say, beneath or lower than you, someone who doesn't know as much or isn't as good as you, that you then have the opportunity to teach. So, as good as you might think you are in your class, as great as your belt ranking might be, if you're not finding an opportunity in every single session to pass on some knowledge to somebody else and help them improve, you're not really improving yourself and you're still fighting your ego. If you find it difficult to bow to somebody, you're still fighting your ego. And as I've mentioned many times in these clips, ego is usually what gets you killed. Ego is the thing that doesn't allow you to walk away from the fight. Ego is what makes you stand there. Even though you think that this guy in front of you might kill you, you stand there because your mates are watching or the pretty girls are watching and you're like, oh, I can't be seen to back down. Get rid of ego. If martial arts can do nothing else for you in a traditional martial arts club, it should be getting rid of your ego. Everything that stands between you and what you want, your ego is usually involved. So, just a quick recap on bowing. It's nothing at all to do with being subservient to anybody. It can't be subservient if you're both bowing to each other. It's literally a silent way of saying thank you and a silent way of giving appreciation. Much in the same way that if you go to a judo club, anywhere in the world, the body drop is called taiyatoshi. They use the Japanese words everywhere and anywhere in the world. The reason being, if you go to Germany and you step on the mat with a Frenchman, it doesn't matter if you don't all speak the same language. If the sensei yells taiyatoshi, you know what moves to do. It's a shorthand way of getting around language barriers. That's all the bowing is. It's a mark of silently giving appreciation and saying thank you. So if you have a problem with saying thank you and you have a problem with showing gratitude, you have bigger problems than just being seen to be weak. It's your ego and you need to dissolve it. Hopefully, this will encourage you to get yourself into a martial arts club. I've done many different videos on how to look for a club and what you should be getting from a club. Any comments, queries, or suggestions, leave them in the comments box. You can contact me all the time through this page or through the rbud.co.uk website. And until next time, train hard, train smart, stay safe.